call the Grosville Airport Commerce Park Commission to order at 6 o'clock. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is roll call. Mr. Moran is here. Mr. Rathel?
Here.
Mr. Mans?
Here.
Mr. Filarski's excused. Mr. Hornby?
Here.
Mr. Loftus?
Here.
Mr. Nadeau?
Here.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I move approval as submitted. Support. Second.
Motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Loftus to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is approval of the minutes of March 20th, 2023 for the general meeting. Is there any
I move approval as submitted.
or motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Nadeau? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is our financial report for March 2023. Before us, we have our financial report that indicates that we have a budgeted amount of revenue of $1,075,132. Our year-to-date revenue is $1,120,083, which is 104% of our budget, and our expenditures are budgeted at $1,075,132, and our year-to-date encumbrances and expenditures are $985,040, which equals just under 92% of our expenditure budget. This is the end of the fiscal year, so we're at 100%. And our capital reserves as of March 31st is $608,980. And we have past due rent as of April 14th of $17,606, and that's all allocated or indicated from Lattice LLC. With that, I'll open it up for any comments or questions. Anyone have any comments or questions on the financial report? Mr. Mans?
I'm assuming we have no update on Lattice.
I've not heard anything from Janelle.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Rathel?
they sent out another final notification. And, if nothing happens, which we don't expect anything to, then we're gonna have to kind of decide where we're going from there. But there's been no productive conversations with these people at all.
There won't be.
But they have received the notice, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions on the financial report? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Mans. Support by Mr. Nadeau to approve the March 2023 financial report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Our first action item is the approval of the contractor for Hangar 1 roof repair. And we have a recommendation before us that reads, based upon the recommendation from C.E. Raines Company and the Commerce Park Airport Manager, the Grosville Airport Commerce Park Commission hereby approves William Molnar Roofing Company, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $455,711.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rathel. Motion supported by Mr. Hornby. Under discussion, we did have 6 bidders. The bids were open on April 13th. And Molnar Roofing was the low bid of the 6. And the roofing type that we have decided to go with is the PVC. And we are also going with the alternate at an amount of, well, 12, thought it was 12.
12, I'm sorry, yeah, for the PVC was a little
Yep,
higher.
$12,375.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Rathel.
I'd like to thank the commission for their support of getting this out very quick and doing everything that we could, working really hard to make sure that we had a bid that came under budget, and then was able to be completed before Island Fest started. So we don't have to worry about Island Fest of any leaks in that roof, which will be a big help to our vendors and our residents that come down there. If it rains, they'll have that hangar. So great job, guys, for sticking with that concept of getting it done. And a PVC roof that is way under budget with insulation is incredible. So, and Molnar is a great company to do this project. So I'm very, very happy. Good job, guys.
And the current roof is a PVC that has
Right.
lasted way longer than it was intended to last, so.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions?
Keep that hangar intact for another, what are we, 1980 years?
If no other comments or questions, we have a motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Hornby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next action item is the approval of the installment loan. We have a resolution before us that reads, based upon the recommendation from the Grosville Airport Commerce Park manager, the Grosville Airport Commerce Park Commission hereby approves the installment loan for a project, for a total project cost not to exceed $500,000.
So moved.
Support. Motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Nadeau. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, this is another thing I want to comment and thank the commission for support on this. So we were able to, and Janelle was able to go out, and I think, Dave, you helped her on this as
Yeah.
well. So to go out and get a quick turn on this installment loan and go to $500,000. And I think Janelle and Dave negotiated an interest rate even below what, I think it went up a day or two after you guys got up.
It did, but they agreed to hold it at
Yeah, yeah.
half, so.
So at 4.5%. So, man, good job, everybody, in this entire project. So,
Mr. Nadeau, what's the next step in the process?
It's on the board agenda for the 24th.
Okay, so that's got to go to the township board?
Right.
Okay. And as you all know, we did have a representative at our last meeting come and explain this process to us. So as Mr. Rathel said, it was a good job by everybody to do a quick turnaround on this to take care of a problem that we have an immediate need for.
an unexpected major issue that we handled very quickly. Yeah, it was,
There's no other questions. We have a motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Nadeau. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item, our action item is approval of the Commerce Park wall landscaping. We have a recommendation, resolution before us that reads, based upon the recommendation from the Grosville Airport Commerce Park manager, the Grosville Airport Commerce Park Commission hereby approves Scott Landscaping to complete the landscaping around the Commerce Park sign located at Grow and Midway for a total cost of the project not to exceed $12,625.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Manns. As you know, we've installed a wall at the park, at the entrance of our Commerce Park across from the storage facility. We've already authorized lettering to go on the wall. Those are being fabricated now. Once those are installed, we're ready to go with the landscaping around the sign. And then the last part will be just to light up the sign as they are going to be backlit. Anyone
Yeah,
have any-
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Rathel.
So a lot of thank yous on this meeting, but I just want to thank Ron. Ron, you worked a long time on concepts and ideas of just making this place look better. And, every year we just methodically move forward to do something that that creates a special environment down here, whether it's like what Brian and I work on quite a bit together, historical preservation, or just a feel of as a resident of Grosse Ile that you're proud of this area, right? And these little landscapes that we do, and Ron over on the DDA has done a great job on Macomb Street as well, which makes these little pocket landscape parks. And this is another one here that is really, really cool. And I think when we get it landscaped, we get that lighted sign up there. And I also want to point out that this wasn't just thrown together either. For those of you that are on the commission, this is in our landscape master plan. We went out and we hired an engineer to do this and came up with the concepts and come up with a plan of how we would be able to do all this stuff. You didn't do everything at one time, but it's an example about how the Commerce Park Commission, when we spend the money on a plan, we implement it, right? It may take 3, 4, 5 years, but we never lose sight on.
Or 10.
I don't know if we've ever taken 10, but we never lose sight on it, and we never put a plan up on a shelf and forget about it. Even our master plan. So, what's your middle name? What's the letter? E?
Where?
Ron what? Ron?
Mitchell.
Mitchell. So the Ron M, should we put it after? We're naming the wall after you, man, so what do you want on there? You want Ron M. Moran, or you just want Ronald Moran, or what do you want?
Hopefully, this will be the first of many landscape additions around the Commerce Park. So, and as Mr. Rathel indicated, we did have a master landscape plan done a number of years ago, and we're finally starting to get it implemented because funding has gone elsewhere for other improvements that were much more needed, more as an emergency basis or other things. But finally, we have a little bit of money to do some upgrades as it relates to how the place will look in the future. So.
It's interesting looking back in the 30-some-odd years I've lived here and just think about this whole Commerce Park area, what it was like 30 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
And, the retention ponds, the landscaping, the signage, it's just a whole lot better, and it continues to get better.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep, and I'm sure we may get into this, but, when you guys did the tour and everything, and you saw all these little things, right? And there's things that we need to know because we just methodically move to keep improving, right? But when I started here 26 years ago, this place was a dump. The building that we're in, it was condemned. The east side was condemned. We had buildings like the old maintenance shed, the water pump, buildings across the street, blight all over the place. So, we just keep moving, right? And we make improvements. But it's always important for everybody to understand what we still need to do, right? Because we can't do everything at one time. And
We are not going to run out of things to do anytime soon.
no, and that's why we're all here to make sure that we spend our own money without taxpayers' money. There's no millage that supports the airport. We earn our own money through our rents and fees. And we come up with our own budget, and I always say we manage our own railroad to make sure that the residents of Grosse Ile does not have to put money into this facility. So it's a huge responsibility that, thank God, that boards have supported and allowed us to do our own leases and our own direction of what's important. And as long as we stay focused of just keep, methodically moving. We can't get too fast. We manage in perpetuity, and we make this airport a better neighbor, and we have. So,
I'd like to throw out, just for Mr. Schutt's consideration, if he needs more mulch than the 1 yard he's got, there's a lot of it along Meridian. Okay, it's a keen grasp of the obvious, right? But there's a lot of mulch available. And anybody who needs mulch, we seem to have an abundance of mulch.
but we have high-end cedar mulch.
Oh.
Brian. This is the airport, okay?
Foolish me.
This is a Ron Moran project, okay? You think Ron Moran's gonna have just regular like softwood and
Western red
ground
cedar.
up pine trees and everything in his yard? No way.
Used mulch.
You use mulch?
Any other comments or questions?
Or harassment.
Yeah. Got a motion by Mr. Rathel, supported by Mr. Mans. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carries. Next action item is the approval of the S1 Training and Consulting lease. We have a resolution in front of us that reads, based upon the recommendation from the Groseal Airport Commerce Park Manager, the Groseal Airport Commerce Park Commission hereby approves a lease between S1 Training and Consulting LLC and the Groseal Municipal Airport. We are leasing the south side of Hangar 2 for a total of 285 square feet. The building will be utilized, or the space will be utilized for office space with a lease starting on May 1, 2023 and expiring on April 30th, 2024, for a monthly rent of $256 with a yearly total of $3,078.
Do you have a second on that?
Nobody's made a motion
Oh.
yet. You gonna make a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Loftus.
Support.
Support by Mr. Hornby. Any discussion on the recommendation for the approval of the lease?
Let's keep them full. Let's keep them full.
Any other comments? Hearing none, we have a motion by Mr. Loftus, supported by Mr. Hornby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Our next item is discussion items. Is there any discussion items tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on to the manager's report, and Janelle was unable to be here tonight, so there's no manager's report. No subcommittee reports, commission member reports. Any commission member have a report tonight?
I'd like to just thank Janelle and those of us who attended the tour. It was well organized. It's getting me up to speed anyway, and it pretty much gave all of us a pretty good demonstration of where we stand.
Lot to do.
Well, a lot to do. The airport nature area is coming along nicely, I think. That's going to be a real asset. In fact, my wife attended an Herb Society meeting, and John Harding was their guest speaker.
Oh, wow.
And he is just tickled that we're getting that access, bicycle pedestrian access way. People don't have to walk along East River Road, that they're going to have that access route into that nature area. So I haven't heard any complaints yet. It's early, but have not heard any. I haven't heard a bad word about it yet.
Well, when you take pedestrian traffic off the road there, and especially when you have a couple boat clubs that utilize that down at the end, and you have blind turns, when you take pedestrians and families that want to go down to the nature center off the road
Yeah.
and put them safely on a path, I hope we don't get any complaints, right? So there's been just a whole plethora of people that have worked on this project to open it up, to get people down there safe. What a community effort, to do it, from the Gin Conservancy and the Commerce Park Commission, the Bike Path, Commission. I mean, everybody has been working to try to get this thing done, and it looks like we finally did it, right? So,
Almost there.
yeah.
And I would like to echo Mr. Loftus' comment about the tour is, you kind of forget how much property is here and how many buildings are here and the responsibility of upkeeping all of these buildings for our tenants and, you know, the cost and it's quite an operation with a lot of property and a lot of different activities with all the different tenants that we have. So, we just got to make sure that we keep maintaining the properties on a regular basis and able to continue to collect the revenue that we need to run the airport and the Commerce Park. So I think it's a good idea that we do that every so often so you don't lose sight as to, you know, what's really out there that we have the responsibility of taking care of.
When I say how great this commission is, it's not in jest. Because as you guys know, I spend almost every day doing something on the airport here, right? And I know all these things, and I know how difficult of a task it is to do this on a daily basis. And it's amazing how this commission can look at things and collectively come up with a process and then a final decision that makes it better here, whether it's through maintenance or new revenue opportunities. But I agree with Ron. I think it's important that the commission members see everything, like, you know, all the little pocket storage areas that we have that, you know, that people don't even realize who is renting from us, right? Or you know, specific maybe T-hanger doors or, you know, there's just so many of these little things that, you know, collectively, and I think that's what you guys saw, is collectively you go, oh my gosh, right? But the reality of it is that it's not overwhelming. It's better now than it ever has been. Can you imagine with this place falling up down and the east side falling down and the ramps caving in and Blade, I mean, what a monumental task, right? That this commission, the Commerce Park Commission, has tackled. It's incredible, these gigantic, huge projects. So we're doing well, but I think what you guys learned is that we can't rest on our laurels, and we have to, you know, we have to all be thinking about it. And there's not a bad idea of how we do it. And as soon as one thing good comes, man, you know, right behind it, boom, you know, there's a bomb that just drops off, you know, in another facility that we got to deal with. But that's okay. That's why we do it. That's why you guys make a lot of money serving this commission.
I also would like to compliment Frank and Gene.
Yeah.
You know,
They did a good job.
they did a nice job on the tour, and you can tell that they're very dedicated, and
They make a
They-
great team.
and they really,
Yeah.
really do give me a sense that they care about this place, and they really want to make it a better place. So, I'd like to compliment them on
Totally agree, they care.
their efforts.
They
So,
care,
yeah.
which is awesome.
Shows.
Well, to have a maintenance staff that cares like those two and has the skill set and how they work together, you know, like yin and yang, right? And how well that Janelle works with them too, you know? I mean, it's incredible. So, a lot of good stuff going on, guys, and, you know, and we'll just keep plugging away. We did well last year. We did really well with a lot of new revenue. We did a lot of things. We have some potential for new revenue again this year. So every year we just keep, you know, growing a little bit here or there, you know.
Anything else from commission members?
Nope, no, it's-
I have no report tonight, and there was no public comment tonight. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Mans. Support by Mr. Nadu to adjourn at 6:25. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries.
Hell of a